What up, everybody? It's your boy Darnell.
And Osiris.
And man, we want to welcome you back to another session of Real Talk with two men, man. Just conversating about things from a man's perspective. Women have their own perspective. We have our own perspective.
That is true.
And one day we're going to come together and talk about it. But for right now,
it's just two men.
just two men talking.
Yeah.
Man, so what's been going on this week?
Nothing too much, I was just kind of thinking about where we had left off last time with trust.
Okay.
And it was brought to my attention about intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of men, when we trust a woman, that's when intimacy is involved.
Mm-hmm.
Because men look for that.
Right.
We talk about men always want sex and all that, but it's not that we want sex. We want that intimacy. Intimacy means that I can tell you everything about me.
Mm-hmm.
The good, the bad, and the indifferent. And when you know that, you still want to be with me.
Right.
So at that point, that's intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the very same time, we have to be able to communicate that to them.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can't communicate that, we don't get what we're looking for. And we can go and try to find it, thinking that having sex with everybody and being around everybody, we're getting that, but we're not.
But honestly, intimacy has nothing to do with sex.
No,
well, no, let me change that. Intimacy is not just about sex.
No, it's not.
Intimacy is. I was just watching something with my wife earlier today, and for y'all don't know, she's in the building. You know what I'm saying? She's sitting over there quiet. You know what I mean?
She's just a fly on the wall.
She's just a fly. You know what I'm saying? But intimacy is just not about sex. Intimacy is the time that you spend with the person, the communication, the efforts, the affection that you show somebody. Because affection is not even just about, you know what I mean, a physical thing. It can also be about, again, the time, the commitment, you know what I mean? Like you said, the trust factor. Like, I think people get that confused when, you mentioned intimacy. Oh, we were intimate. Like, okay, well,
what did y'all talk about?
What did y'all talk about? Like,
exactly.
What was your time about? Oh, you're just talking about it was.
Oh, no, we cuddled.
Yeah, that ain't. No. Oh, okay, that's a form of intimacy.
But that's not complete intimacy.
And do you feel like a lot of people still don't trust to this day? They'll show intimacy before they'll show trust.
But you can't have one without the other.
But they'll show it though. They'll say that I don't trust people, but they'll give their bodies to people. They'll give their time to people, or they'll
That's not intimacy. They use the word wrong.
Right.
In the wrong context.
Okay.
When someone tells you I don't trust you, or I don't trust you I trust you to an extent, like we talked about last time.
Right.
Then that's pretty much, I only want you to do a job for me, and I know you'll be responsible to do that job. Not so much I trust you.
Right.
I just need you to do what I need you to do.
Right.
Trust comes in everything. Like if I tell you I trust you, that means I trust you with my kids, I trust you with my money, I trust you with my life, like we said before. Intimacy, when you trust somebody on that level, that's where the intimacy comes in.
Gotcha.
Because I trust you so much, my darkest secrets, my fears. But without intimacy, you are not. People think being intimate and then being vulnerable makes you weak.
Gotcha.
And it's not making you weak, it makes you stronger, because if you know what you are vulnerable about and you're able to express it to someone you trust, you know you're going to be stronger.
But then, my bad, go ahead, my fault.
No, go ahead. You like Austin?
No, but I'm saying, like, when it comes down to it, thank you, Lord. Like, my confusion is that you say you don't trust people, but you will lay down with everybody. You won't trust people, or you'll say I can only trust people so far, but then you'll lay down and have sex with people. And to me, like my internal is more important. It's more important than my external.
Because sex is an action,
right?
So I mean, I can go and be with somebody, hang out with somebody, have sex with them, not even give 2 cents about them,
right?
Because at the end of the day, it was just because I wanted to bust something.
Mm-hmm.
Where intimacy, I don't have to have sex. I can sit down and have great pillow talk. We could be at a place at dinner, and we can be basically having a conversation about what we like, what we don't like, everything about who we are.
Right.
We're putting, like I call it, a 52 car pickup. I threw all my cards on the table and you picked them all up.
Right.
That's intimacy.
Right.
Whereas some people mistake it as, oh, we cuddled. Oh, we were very close. Oh, it was very passionate. It was just, no, that's just great sex.
Right.
And sex can be, we can go turn on the channel and have porn set up, and that's sex.
Right.
They don't mean nothing to each other. They might act like they do in the video, but that's just their job.
But how can you? That's my thing. I was never able to do that. I was never able to lay down with somebody, you know what I mean, and not feel no feelings or nothing like that, right? I was never like that. There was always some emotion tied in that. But my issue is that people say I don't trust people, but you're willing to lay down with everybody. That's my biggest thing that I have with people.
Because that's the way you look at sex as I have to trust you to
Right.
be with you sexually.
Right.
Where people don't put trust with sex. If that's the case, then there wouldn't be no streetwalkers. There
True.
wouldn't be no escorts.
True.
You see what I'm saying? There wouldn't be people who are paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no trust in it. The trust is how much I can pay you to do this for me right now.
Mm.
So when it comes to having sex, it's not I trust you. I just want to have someone for this moment. And then I'm going to go leave and I won't even think of you again. Bye.
Man, that's crazy to me, bro. Because again, it's like I'm not the type of person to where I don't lay down with everybody. I can count maybe on one hand how many people that I've laid down with my entire life, and I can tell you that I've had feelings for all them people. Right?
I'll be honest with you, I can't. There's been times where I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was growing up, I didn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It was just point. Oh, you want to? Let's go ahead and do it. Then bye. Wouldn't even talk to you again.
Mm-hmm.
It was just we wanted to be with each other for that moment, and that moment we had, and that was it. We didn't call each other. We didn't talk to each other. I didn't take her number down. Kept it moving. It's just when we're talking now, when it comes to intimacy,
Mm-hmm.
I can count on my hand how many females I was intimate with, and that's completely different. And there's only 3, because I only trust those 3 with my life.
No, it's a different perspective. You
Right.
know what I mean? And to me, I think we're on the same page where it's intimacy is not just about having sex with somebody.
No, it has nothing to do with sex.
Man, intimacy to me is it's a mental thing.
Yes,
like mentally, I'm getting to know you. You're getting to know me. Emotionally, we're connecting.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The physical part to me, and hence why people say, wait, don't have sex until you're married, because let me get to know who this person is.
Gets in the way.
Yeah, huh?
Sex gets in the way.
Oh yeah, sex brings up way too many emotions. It's like, and then once you get the physical aspect, now I'm bonded together with you. Now I'm like going crazy. Now I've got all and when, like you said, some people can do it, but then one thing that did come to mind. Thank you, Lord. Help me break this down. One thing. Hold on. One thing. I can't even talk. I can't even talk. One thing that people say to me is that they have sex with a lot of people because they don't love themselves enough. Then there's other people that say, I only have sex with people that I love and I have feelings for. So it seems like sex gets tied up in the midst of a person's lack thereof or thereof. You know what I mean? Like I gotta be in love with you, or I gotta be with you, or something of that nature.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There are a lot of people out there in the world that lay down with people because they don't love themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think a lot of people search for love by laying down with a lot of people.
Right.
And that's mostly like when we look at that mostly falls under the female version of what's going on, because a lot of times they're trying to find love.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason when they feel like it's something emotional when it comes to sex, if you look at sex and just being a little kind of graphic here, is we enter them. Mm-hmm. They're on the outside of us.
Right.
So therefore, when we enter them, we're entering into their emotional spirit. Mm-hmm. Whereas we still just touching the outside of our body. Mm-hmm. So as a female, when they feel that, they feel something on a whole nother level.
Right.
Which their emotions might say, well, this must be our intimacy, because this is what they know. And 9 times out of 10, people don't know how to be intimate.
Right.
They haven't been taught from previous generations on what love is or what sex really means. So they only go by what they think or what they heard on the street or what they found from other people. And that's the reason why they go the route that they go. Right. And that intimacy that they're researching for, because they never knew what it was, is just basically what they think it is. And they thinking, oh, if I lay down with this person, I'm being intimate. and then they'll be intimate with me, whereas they might be meeting somebody who didn't really want to be intimate, but wanted to be with them for that moment.
Okay. And so while you were talking, I looked up the definition of this word intimacy. Right. So, because I'm one of them people where if I'm studying something, I want to break down every single word that I just want to break down everything. Right. And so it says close, familiar, can't even say the word, or friendship, closeness. This intimacy between a husband and wife. It says closeness, togetherness, attachment. And then there's another part that says sexual relationships, sexual intercourse, sex intercourse, love making. So intimacy has these two definitions, right? But then it's like, I'm getting intimate with this person. You got to define what your intimate, like you said, you got to define what your intimacy is. Is it having sex with a person, or is it spending time with a person?
Well, not only do you are that type of person, I'm also that person. I like to look at the root.
Right.
And intimate means inmost.
Okay.
Make familiar.
Okay.
So therefore, there's nothing to have to do with so much as to where it's sexual or like somewhere where we lay down with each other. It's more about you and I becoming very familiar with each other. We can be intimate with each other by talking about our secrets, our dark past, whatever it may be. That's us being intimate. Two guys can sit at a bar and talk about their relationship with their wives. That's them being intimate. Two girls can talk about their boyfriends or their husbands. That's intimacy for them. The thing about it is we relate that by putting sex involved. And sex sometimes is not the root. It's actually like maybe the climax or the end of everything, like a celebration, but it's not so much what is intimate.
Right.
Because that's a whole different thing.
Because it says, broadly speaking, intimacy means deeply knowing someone while also feeling deeply knowing yourself.
Exactly. So that's that part about being vulnerable.
Right.
See, intimacy and vulnerable go together along with communication.
Right.
So if I want to be vulnerable and allow you into my world, then now you and I are being intimate. Whereas people say, well, I'm being vulnerable because I had sex with you. No. You don't have to be vulnerable to have sex with anybody.
So can you say that two men can have an intimate moment?
Yes.
Right?
It has nothing to do with sex. It's like I just said, you and I can talk about what I can tell you my deepest secrets, my darkest fears. That made me be vulnerable to you to let you inside my world. That's us being intimate with each other.
So here's a crazy thing. So it's people would say, oh yeah, we had an intimate moment, and be like, oh, what that's whatever.
Because that's the mind that they have learned in the society.
But in saying that, well, we just had a deep moment, you're saying the same exact thing.
But the way people would take intimacy, they think we had. If you and I went out to a bar right now and told somebody, yeah, we had an intimate moment.
Yeah.
The first thing they're gonna think is that we are having sex with each other.
Right. Or you just had a gay moment, basically.
Right. But see, we talk about that. We're gonna get on that one later. But that word. Yeah. But just going on that, that's what they think. But if you and I went to the bar and said, man, me and Alex, we had a deep convo.
Yeah.
Oh, what y'all talk about? Because that's the conversation. If you say intimate, they automatically think sex.
Because that's a secure word that they can use.
Yes.
But if you go look it up again, broadly speaking, intimacy means deeply knowing someone. So I got to know this person on a whole nother level. So you can go to I use this since I don't even watch the show no more, but that show Love and Hip Hop.
Right.
Man, me and bro got to know each other on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? I respect this person even more. So you had an intimate moment. The moment you say intimate, we ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Then that manhood, you know what I'm saying, they chest gets.
But that's the ignorance that people have. Because they thinking this word is one thing and it's not. Like you and I both did. We broke the word down from the Latin root origin all the way to what the definition is. And not one of it really talked about being sex.
Right. That's it. That's the second. It didn't even say that was the first.
No.
It was the second definition for it.
Right, because that's what we use it as.
Right.
But if we was to go and say this was the word and the definition of it, you'll blow people's minds away because now they look at the word different. And people who are listening to us right now are going to look at this word completely different. Because we told them what the word truly means.
Right. So let me ask you this, because you was a man that was married, right?
A couple times.
Yeah, you tried it out. All right.
I tried it out. It didn't work out.
Y'all auditioned.
Where my intimacy work? It didn't work out with them.
So me being married now, right? So my intimacy, may be different than my wife's, but I'm understanding the intimacy is spending time with one another.
Right.
It's being there with one another. It's talking to one another.
Right.
That's the most intimate time you have, is that you're entering into a place,
right,
of stability, emotionally, not even physically, just emotionally, mentally. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting to know you, getting to know me.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people who are married now that still don't know each other.
That is so true.
There's a lot of people that's been married for 15 years, and they'll be like, "Oh, I really don't know the person." I'm like, okay, you've been together for 15 years. You still don't know. Like, me and my wife been together for going on 5 years next year.
Right.
We know a lot about each other.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because we've spent that intimate time getting to know one another.
Right.
I know, she knows things that make me mad. I know things that I do stuff that purposely will probably make her mad. She'll do stuff that purposely will make me mad. But we know each other enough to know how far you're going to go with that.
True.
So
she also knows your secrets, and you know her secrets, and
some.
Your fears and
some.
Fears. Okay, some. All right, I was gonna say, just go. She's just a fly on the wall today, so I don't want you calling me talking about. We ain't gonna be able to do the cast no more.
So I know that with your being married and me being married, we're two different men, right?
Right.
So was there a struggle with intimacy within your marriage?
The first one, probably.
Okay.
The second one, I don't think it was a problem with the intimacy of the marriage.
Okay.
I just think that it was used against.
Okay.
So you could open up to somebody.
Okay.
And if you open up to the wrong person, they would take that information and use it against you, knowing that that's who you are.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's how they get people to rally around them, because you can't deny it. Yeah, that's who I am.
Right.
But that's not who I'm being.
Yeah.
And so I would say that being intimate, you have to pick the right person. Can't just be with anybody, because people might act like they want to be intimate with you, but they want to gather information to pretty much destroy you.
Right.
It might not be right away. It might be down the road. They just are those type of people. And
it's crazy, right? Because I was married once before.
Okay.
And me and this person, we would have Bible studies together or whatever, right? Because she was trying to get in the Word and this and that. And so here's a crazy thing, right? So in the Bible study, she admitted that she didn't love herself. So here's the thing. We weren't married yet. And when we had this Bible study, she just made a statement where it was like, yeah, and so then I just was like, okay. So at the end of the Bible study, this and another, she wanted to get married. And I was like, well, how are we going to get married if you don't love yourself? And she felt like I just used that against her. I'm like, no, it's a comment. It's something I already knew, but now that you out admit, like, it's common sense. You can't be intimate with me if you're never intimate with yourself. You can't be like, you can be open with me, but I don't know, man. Like,
I get what you're saying. So to touch base on that, I'm going to go with the intimacy of being sexual.
Right.
Some people think masturbation is bad. And some people masturbate all the time. Then you got the ones who just do it when they need to do it.
Like Quagmire off of Family Guy, he found out what porn was.
Right.
One man came in there with one bigger than the other one.
Exactly. But think about, based on what you were just saying. So how could you, using masturbation, if you don't even love yourself to be with yourself, intimate, how you going to be with somebody else?
Right.
Because if you don't even know what makes you happy, turns you on, how are you going to be able to be with somebody to tell them what turns you on if you don't even think it's something that you should do, especially if you think it's negative or something bad? So that intimacy piece right there, the woman that you was married to that's talking about she don't love herself got upset because you basically pointed out directly that she didn't love herself, and she didn't want to hear that. we need to work this out first.
Right.
She wanted you to be the savior and say, don't worry about it. We're going to take care of it. No, in other words, you asked her a straight up question.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't ready for that. She wanted you to take care of her and be a victim so she can use that. I don't love myself. So when she needed to do something that was going to bother you, that was going to come out.
Wow. You know what, man? This is crazy because this even goes into the conversation of individuals, like women who say they want a man to have this, they want a man to have that, right? But it's like, if you've never taken yourself on a date, if you don't know what type of stuff that you like, if you don't know, how are you expecting somebody else to? Or here's my biggest pet peeve: when they say a man got to have this, a man got to have that, but you don't even have it yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, that bothers me a lot. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not on here to bash women at all, but
no.
I get opportunity just to speak how I feel, and this is how I feel. It's like, don't ask for something that you yourself don't know that you like. You can't say, "Oh darn it!" I'm like, "Hey man, what are we eating tonight, man? After the show?" "Oh man, oh no, you know what I mean, anything," and then we go get Panda Express. You're like, "Oh, I hate Panda Express." So why didn't you say that? You could have said anything but Panda Express, but no, you said Panda Express. Like, it don't make any sense.
Right. And that's like one of the things that we all talk about, that, you know, when you ask a woman what she want to eat, she says, "I don't know," but then you throw a list out there. "No, I don't want that. I don't want that." So we know what you don't want.
Right.
So let's figure out what it is you want. But that's a whole other call we can have on that
Man.
one. But like, going back to what you were saying before about women saying they want this type of man. And I always ask the question, well, what did you ask? Like, they say, "God, I want this man. God, I want him to be like this. I want him to be like that." And if God could actually talk right back to you, and he'll be like, "So what are you going to do to yourself so you can get that man?"
Mm-hmm.
So our minds work. Look at our mind like a computer. Your mind is a computer, and your thoughts are your programs that you put into your computer.
Right.
So if you tell your mind that you're worthy of certain people, and you start acting like you're worthy of that certain person, your mind will then program itself to think that way on a regular basis. Then you will attract what you would put out there. Energy is strong. So if I put out there positive energy about myself, I'm going to be a confident person. I start walking confident. I start dressing confident. I start doing things on a confident level. I'm going to attract confident females to me. Also confident men, because we want to travel in packs. Whereas if I feel insecure or I don't feel confident about myself, I feel damaged, I'm only going to find either manipulators or narcissists or damaged people.
Narcissist, that's a big word. I can't spell it.
You gotta first take your program and change it. We change it on our Apple computers, we change it on our laptops when we don't like it, but we don't change our human computer to think on a level that we want to be at. That old saying, "Fake it till you make it," that's basically telling your brain, I'm going to tell myself every day, I'm positive, I'm handsome, I'm good, I'm smart. And my mind is going to wake up saying, "You're smart, you can do this, you're handsome." Then I'm going to start dressing that way. Then I'm going to start working out that way. Then I'm going to start eating that way. Guess what? By the time I look, I'm already doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing 6 months ago. So now I'm in the mode, and then you start seeing people coming around you saying, "Wow, you changed." You don't have to tell nobody you changed, because everybody else around you will tell you.
Right.
And the people that was around you that was damaged or manipulators or narcissists are going to say, "Man, I can't deal with you. You changed. You somebody else. You think you're all uppity. Those are the ones you get out your circle. Because now you're going to bring in the people that say, "I believe in you. Let's go do what we got to go do." Because now you got a different crowd of people around you because you changed your mind computer.
You know, a funny thing is, like, and I'm down with everything that you said. I just never got into that energy stuff. Like, people be like, you know, keep the same energy, or somebody told me this one time, like, "I'm sending you positive vibes." And I asked the person, like, "How do you send me positive vibes?"
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question. You play sports?
Yeah.
Okay. When you and your team starts winning, do you feel a different way?
No, because I don't know what losing is.
Then you are a special person. But on a real tip, I know you lost some games in your life, so I don't want to hear that. But you know, so like when one person starts rallying and start making shots, then all of a sudden the team starts saying, okay, they start getting confidence, because now you're starting to feel that energy, and that energy travels. Energy is through everything, like electricity. Energy goes. You turn the light switch off, electricity stops.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
But that's the same way with people. I can pass my positive vibes to you, because I can start laughing right now. You will start laughing. If I start yawning, you're going to yawn. That's that energy passing back and forth between us. If I don't want you to have my energy, I can shut down and I can be quiet. You're going to be up there. What are we going to talk about? Oh, I just feel like boring. I don't know what to do. That's my negative energy passing to you, because I'm letting you know I don't want to say nothing to you. But if I'm talking to you like we're doing right now, you're vibing off of me. So if I say one thing, you be like, "Oh Lord, help me speak this out. Let me get this right."
Okay,
that's your energy. That's your energy.
You ain't gotta mock me.
I'm not mocking you. I'm just saying. You said you don't know what energy is all about. You see it. I'm giving you a demonstration about it. That's the energy that you and I are doing right now.
Yeah.
And so when you say you don't know, it's because you never been taught what it's all about or shown what it looks like. So in your mind, in your program, you told yourself, "I don't know nothing about energy."
I say, because people use it as energy, I use it as like encouragement, like
whatever words you want to call it.
That's how I live.
It's the same thing. Encouragement, energy, vibe, the flow, whatever you want to call it. That's all it is.
Vibration.
You know, the spirit is moving between us.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. When you in church and you start to preach, you start feeling something, the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost is energy.
Okay. I can see that.
Okay.
I can see that. Okay. Well, look, man, this has been another show with two men just talking, chopping it up. You know what I mean?
That's it.
You got our perspective on how we feel about intimacy, energy. You know what I'm saying? And I hope and pray that this encourages you, man. You can catch us every week on the Arizona Informant News Station, AZI Radio, Arizona Informant Podcast. You can catch us on the YouTube. You can catch us every single place that podcasts are shown at. So again, my name is Darnell.
This is Osiris.
And I appreciate you guys joining us today, man. We'll catch you again next week.